Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for the Optc video, and in today's video, it is the end of the month, end of the financial year, actually, and finances in Optc definitely have been at an all-time high, as we are in the post-anniversary celebration, the after-party, if you will, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about those particular characters that came out for the celebration. We're going to be breaking down all the characters in the game, basically touching on our tier list of last month and putting all of the characters onto not an end game, like an all game tier list. So if you guys don't know what I do when it comes to these particular videos, we take all the legends in the game, we put them on a tier list every single month and sort of break down which are the most valuable for you guys to level up as a player across every single game mode in Optc. So it's a lot to talk about today. I'm not going to waffle on too much, but I do want to obviously disclaim at the start of the video, as always, this is my personal opinion. Don't take it as law. Don't take it as the be-all, end-all, but hopefully it helps you guys out if you're either a newer player, a mid-game player, what characters are very, very good at leveling up, breaking down the level limit breaks and stuff like that, and sort of touching on what characters that you want to sort of farm out for your accounts. Power, speed, accessibility, classes, colors, PvP, arenas, old content, new content, all of that comes into consideration when we are talking about these particular characters. If you agree on anything, let me know in the comment section below. If you disagree, let me know down below too. I love talking about this kind of stuff with you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them down there below as well. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. With that said, let's dive into the tier list once again. Huge shout out to the tier list maker. Link in the description if you guys want to come check out this tier list or create your own as well. I'll leave the link down below. And huge shout out to the Optc database for the images provided. So tier list is an absolute doozy. Obviously, we have over 200 legends in the game now. So if you guys want to actually check out the tier list, head over to, or hit the link at the bottom if you guys can check it out fully. However, if you guys want to check out why I have these particular characters in particular spots, check out last month's tier list because we did a bit more of an in-depth breakdown of the characters. As you guys saw at the top there, we have the top 5. We move into the God tier. They're probably like your next best characters. Meta are the characters that are sort of working at the moment due to either being point boosted or other characters that are very, very good. S tier captains, most of the time you'll see these guys as used as captain. Pretty much their be-all end-all. S tier subs are the characters that would make the best sailors. S tier level limit breaks, you basically need 5 copies of these characters to make them very, very good. PvP focus, these characters you'll see basically used in PvP. They could be good elsewhere, but like they're mainly used in PvP. A tier captains, obviously just under S tier captains. A tier subs, and then we sort of just make our way down there. These particular characters obviously are nowhere near as good as the ones above them, but as we get down the bottom here, you guys will see we hit that need some love tier. All these characters either have 6+ or level limit breaks, and these particular units up here are the ones that sort of need a little bit more love. Well, Luffy and Ace, they're finally a character that got some love. We can bring them down a little bit lower. And Big Mom's actually a character that we're going to bring off the list because we do want to talk about her and her level limit break. If we scroll down a little bit, and this is the reason I'm not going to waffle on today, is because we have a lot to talk about. That whole top row right there is all new characters we have to talk about. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 characters. And I'm not going to break down every little bit of information on these characters because we're going to be here for way too long. So I'm going to try and fly through it as quickly as possible. And the first character, I'm actually going to bring you probably around here somewhere. The first character we're going to talk about is last month's 6+. I didn't get a chance to put them on the tier list. It's Big Mom, Prometheus, and Zeus. They're okay. Like, they're nothing crazy. Oh no, I did. I already put them on the tier list. Oh, okay. Well, they were down here. Let's move them down here. We put them as A tier sub. Honestly, I don't even think they're an A tier sub. Looking at their kit and what they do, I'm going to put them in A tier level limit break, because you can use the unit, but like, no. Just no. Well, this is one less character to talk about. Moving on to Ivankov. Ivankov, honestly, I'm going to stick straight in. Look, it's a unique character. Very, very unique character. They can do some cool stuff depending on what your color and class your captains are. I did see some really cool stuff if you're using Bond Clay. It's a very interesting combination, but like, it's a PvP legend. And honestly, in PvP, like, I honestly don't even think this character's good. I've been trying to make this character work for Quick Cerebral, but like, bro, this is not good. Not good at all. I mean, if you're rogues here, we'll put Ivankov there, so look, it is what it is. Moving on to the post-anniversary after party batch, we had Whitebeard versus Blackbeard, and we have Shank's Buggy. Super interesting little tidbit of characters here, but some of them are really, really good, some of them are not so good, and some of them are just okay. Shanks and Buggy, obviously I'm a Shanks stan, So you know I love my Shanks Buggy, but unfortunately this character isn't overly insane. I do really like them as a sub though. I think they are a fantastic sub. As a captain, this unit kind of sucks. Like, I don't ever see this unit being amazing when it comes to a captain potential. Color affinity captains, never really been my thing. On top of that, like, it's two types being Psi and Dex, but their special is really good. 7 turns of paralysis, 7 turns of attack down removal, which is awesome. They can increase color affinity by 0.75 if it's 3 turns. Otherwise, they give a color affinity buff. Plus, their swap gives a pretty good resistance buff. Like a really good resistance buff. I think they're like a pseudo version of Odin and Toki, because they can kind of do something very similar. However, Odin and Toki probably will see a little bit more play if we're talking about slasher situations. All in all, though, I do think Shanks and Buggy are like a lot better than a lot of people give them credit for, purely because of their utility value. Their swap giving resistance down is great. That color affinity buff, as long as it's 3 turns, is exceptional. And if you partner them up with something like Roger, this Roger right here, and you get Roger's attack boost and Roger's color affinity boost all in one go with something like Rayleigh Gaban, you can then turn Roger's color affinity boost into a 3 times color affinity boost, which is Rainbow. So you can do some really cool stuff there with this unit. They're very good. They're slasher centric, more of a less, but they can be used on driven teams as well, or you can use them on type teams too. So I think Shanks and Buggy are sort of that mid-section of the characters that came out for that particular anniversary or the post-celebration. As for the Whitebeard versus Blackbeard, obviously you get these characters as a package, but we're going to break them down individually. Whitebeard, I think, is definitely the worst of the two. Definitely not bad, but just he's very wonky in the sense that he boosts strikers, but then doesn't boost strikers. He boosts Powerhouse and Psi, but like, you need striker characters for his Super Tandem. He's kind of a weird dude. He's a 3-turn chain boundary. Gives you a full board of tandem slots through block, which is great. The versatility can remove damage reduction, I think. Or it might be threshold. I think it's actually threshold. And then the special removes threshold. Plus their versatility gives the color affinity to Psi units, but for 3 turns. And that's where Shanks and Buggy come into play, because they can turn this into like a 3.25 times color affinity boost, which is very good. The downside to Whitebeard is they're just like kind of like better Whitebeards, which is kind of nuts, because like this Whitebeard's so new. And like off the top of my head, I'm thinking like Deadbeard. I'm thinking like the Treasure Mount Whitebeard, like those types of characters. Chain boundaries are really good, and the tap timing buff is great. He can get around stun, but like it's kind of like a unit that I'm just kind of like, where am I ever going to use you? I just don't know. It's not that he's bad, it's just that I just don't think he finds a real place in the meta at the moment at all. Blackbeard though, Blackbeard's really good. I'm super impressed with this Blackbeard. This Blackbeard obviously made the new Grand Voyage insanely easy compared to like utilizing a leveled up ship. But obviously it did take a whole new legend to do that, and a new support. But Blackbeard's special not only gives you a full board of tandem slots, he also gives you a 3-turn orb buff. He can do that color affinity that Whitebeard can do, but it's for Powerhouse and Dex units now. He's a driven character, so you can run him on some driven teams, which is super nice. He's a 3-turn base stat boost depending on how much HP you have. And as a captain, you actually lose HP, which is good at getting around stuff like stuns. So obviously what they want you to do is use like Blackbeard and Whitebeard together, and then all you're missing is an attack booster. And then with this Blackbeard and this new squad support, you can get a chain boost, a chain multiplicative. The thing with Blackbeard and Whitebeard is they built them up around despair removal. Whitebeard actually removes 10 turns of despair in his captain, but Blackbeard has a very unique effect where he turns the despair into a 1.2 times chain multiplicative buff. Doesn't matter how many turns of despair you get, it's always 3 turns of a 1.2 times chain multiplicative. So you get 99 turns of despair, this guy literally just says nope and just turns it all into multiplicative. It's very good. It's a super good ability, and one that's going to be incredible value moving forward. On top of that, they released a support squad that goes for Blackbeard, Whitebeard, and like a couple other characters as well. But whenever you use their special, squad actually despairs you for 10 turns, and then obviously Blackbeard can turn that into a chain multiplicative. Plus, squad gives you a 2.5 times attack boost. So literally with Blackbeard and squad, you get an attack boost, an orb boost, color affinity boost. You have utility removal, complete despair removal, chain multiplicative as well. So like, you just get so much with literally one unit and support, which is kind of nutty. Yes, it is a new legend. It's the regular Sugo ticket though, and it's a support rare recruit, but like, it's kind of nuts what you can do for powerhouse teams. Literally just with that. And then obviously if you have Blackbeard in squad, you have Whitebeard, you can run a Whitebeard friend captain. Moving on to the Kazuna Legend now, we have Crocodile and Doflamingo. Crocodile and Doflamingo are a lot of fun. And I do want to give credit where credit's due for fun characters. However, fun characters don't really make the top of this type of list, you know. I'm going to be very interested to see how they go in Super Boss Kazuna and how they sort of operate there. But Driven and Cerebral aren't part of the meta right now. They're not in a position where they work exceptionally well. But if you are running them as sort of like if you are running a Driven Cerebral team, this unit will probably be one of the characters that you see. I feel like Cerebral, you're probably running like the quickish team up here. But the way this unit operates is they can increase your attack buff or buff. Basically any attack boosting effect on your side of the squad. And if you do, you can lose 25% of your HP. So you can level up 4, and they each have different values. It is better to level up your lowest buffs, because that obviously in turn gives you the greater effects. But the character seems really, really cool. Their switchability is what makes them so good, though. Their super swap is 3 turns of bind and special bind removal, 1 turn otherwise. But otherwise, like, I don't ever really see them used as a captain. I do think this character is probably going to shine best as a sub. And they are a very, very good sub at that. So getting around stuff like stun is great. You can use them as a captain. They have that resistance debuff, but the powerfulness, or the most power you get out of a dual unit in their captain form is when they're in their dual form. And this unit only stays in that form as 1 turn. So it's going to be interesting to see moving forward. I'm going to put them as S tier sub right now because, like, I really like the character, but, like, I just don't really see a place where this particular unit shines in the meta right now. And as a captain, like, I'm not using this character captain. Like, it's unfortunate, but it definitely is. I can definitely see myself using this unit as a sub, like, a lot. Kind of like how I use Hiyori quite a bit, just for their switchability and just for that ability to just get more damage output or avoid stuff like stun. So, interesting legend, and I like that they do stuff like that. Introducing sort of new mechanics. Next we got the newest 6+, which is Luffy and Ace. And Luffy and Ace, I rate a lot higher than most people do. Luffy and Ace are, in my opinion, are fantastic. I think they have the effect that Red Rock Luffy has, where they're just going to be so good for content moving forward. For the PKA at the moment, they are just demon mode, because they are literally the only one, like, turtle booster. But on top of that, they're all boosters for everyone. They're attack boosters for everyone, and they can be a conditional boost as well. They can give you a full board of matching orbs depending on the classes you have on your team, and they're a chain boundary with their swap. Like, they're a fantastic character. They have a lot of holes, obviously, with their super swap for 6 turns, and you need to be in their dual form to get the better form of their special. But most of the time, you're not going to need that better form of the special. It's just bigger numbers. If you can be bothered to stall that out, go for gold. But 99% of the time, you ain't going to need that. And if you do get it, it's just a lot more extra damage. So I think they're an absolutely fantastic level limit break. I don't think people are giving them enough credit where credit is due. Because this unit I think it's going to be a very valuable 6+ and level limit break to have moving forward. So hopefully you guys got enough copies to get the level 5. Hopefully you guys got enough skulls to actually to evolve them, because they are an absolutely phenomenal character. And Free Spirits being so powerful as they are, it just sort of helps them out even more. So very, very nice character. Very, very good 6+. About time they got one. Their big downside, though, is their name is Luffy and Ace, obviously. As for level limit breaks, we've kind of moved into a meta where level limit breaks aren't really a thing, because of all the legends pretty much being done. But Big Mom actually got her level limit break, funny enough, alongside a couple PvP recruits and a couple of free-to-play treasure map characters like Tashigi and stuff like that. But Big Mom slipped under the radar. Her Rampage ability now is a 15 times captain, which is crazy. And then she's just like a base rate 5 times captain for strength, dex, and quick. I really want to do a showcase on this unit. I think this unit is going to be absolutely crazy. On top of that, she bypasses defensive effects. She can, like, when she's in a rampage mode, you don't tap with her. She's the original auto captain. And she does seem very, very good. She obviously makes similar slots too, which can't be swapped. So that's another bonus. It's going to be really interesting to see the damage numbers that we can get with this unit, especially with stuff like the bird ship and whatnot as well. I think what they've done with her level limit break is very impressive. I don't know how amazing it's going to be moving forward. Kind of like with the Snake Man, right? Like, the Snake Man has such a good level limit break. It's fantastic and phenomenal. We haven't really seen a place where, like, besides Grand Voyage, like, that it's been, like, super, super valuable. Like used all the time valuable kind of stuff. Nevertheless, though, I do like Big Mom a lot. She might drop down a little bit. Yeah, she might drop down a little bit as time goes on. But as from what I've seen on paper right now, she does seem really, really good. Finally, we have the 2 new legends that came out for the OPTC Girls banner. So it's like the post celebration. We're kind of out of Anniversary now. I know it's a Koala and Robin and a Black Maria ulti. Now, who asked for these units? I don't know, but we have them. So, yeah, cool. Both cerebral boosting and both quite interesting characters. Both very good characters, but again, it's just kind of like why? Starting off with Robin Koala, most people have actually got to know this unit from PKA. A lot of people using them as a friend captain. And they do seem fairly interesting. They're a 3-turn orb booster. If you have color affinity, they give you a color affinity on the next turn. Their super swap gives color affinity. Their swap gives an overrideable color affinity. So you can do some pretty cool stuff there. And they're all based up around like taking damage and then healing that back. I don't really see myself ever using this unit as a captain. And even as a sub, I don't know if I really see this unit's true value and potential moving forward. Orb boost, color affinity. I think they remove damage reduction. One of them removes damage reduction. The other one removes threshold. But out of the 2, I think that Robin Koala definitely is the worst of the 2. Using them as a captain, probably only valuable or viable of their value is with their special reverse in their kit. But for me, like if I'm using special reverse, I'll probably run like something like Perispero. Because this unit only boosts Cerebral and then Dex and Quick. Not Dex and Quick, Dex and Int. So, yeah, just a little bit of an interesting character. Nothing too crazy. But just like a really solid unit. I hopefully you guys didn't summon for him because, like, yeah, let them come to you. Next is Black Marine Ulti, though, the final unit we're going to talk about today. And honestly, out of the 2, I think this unit is way better. Like, I don't even think it's close. This unit is an attack booster, which is immediately better than an orb booster. They're also a self-proccing conditional booster for delay, which is actually ridiculously good. They give color affinity again with their super swap, and their swap's overrideable color affinity. Again, it's only for cerebral, dex, and int characters, but the reason I'm going to put this character so high is because this character actually like makes the cerebral team in PvP so good. So does like Robin and Koala. Like they're a very, very good unit for that team. But if we're talking like a meta cerebral team, I think this unit will probably find a way onto the team, especially because you can do stuff with Robin being a cerebral character too. Cerebral free spirit, and then you have your 2 conditional boosts here. You're ready to go. You have an attack boost. If you run Robin as your captain, you have an orb boost, and literally like hybriding these 2 units together, you have a lot of damage output literally just with the 2 units. You have color affinity, you have orb boost, you have 2 conditional boosts, and you have an attack boost. And that's literally just with your captains. So, and a super class for cerebral. So you can do some really, really cool stuff there with these 2 particular units. Cerebral obviously have a lot of very, very good support, but they just don't really crack that top echelons for me. Like, they don't really come into this sort of range of the god tier units that we have seen over the sort of last year to 2 years and whatnot. But nice, fast, easy tier list for you guys. I really wanted to try and make it short and sweet because I do know that I can waffle on a lot with this type of stuff. But like I said, let me know your thoughts and opinions if I missed over anything or if I glossed over anything in the comment section below. Before we finish up the video, I do want to sort of have a bit of a scan through the tier list and see if anything has changed. Just looking here, I don't think anything really has. I do think the top 5 are still the top 5. For the moment, I would probably put Sanji over Luffy and Yamato as a character to own, but Nami I still believe is probably the best legend for most people to have rather than Sanji. However, if we're talking endgame, I do think they're fairly even. I do want to bring Roger Whitebeard actually up a little bit. I think Uta's dropped off quite a lot, where Roger Whitebeard still shines across a lot of different game modes, namely PvP. Namely Grand Voyage, compared to what Uta provides. And that's something that's very, very valuable, not only for endgame players, but for new game players that are just sort of playing the game every single day. As to my god tier, all these characters do seem to be here. I do think that like Alba's probably on the cusp of falling off. I don't love Alba up here. People probably look at me like, why have you got Cat Viper here? But the speed farming strats you get from this unit are just insane. They're a fantastic character that can clear most content, and they avoid stuff like very annoying barriers. Meta characters, as I mentioned, these characters are sort of built up for the meta of what teams they provide. Rayleigh Gabbana showed their worth in PKA and stuff like that. Shang showed his worth in the 10-star Kazuna recently as well. I would think about sort of moving like Kaido down to S tier captain, and leaving Queen in the meta sort of tier, because like Queen has like more utility there. But Kaido's like, if you're running a driven team, like Kaido's pretty much the guy you're gonna go for. Strikers, he's very good too. So S tier captains, all these characters sort of sit fair. I think I'm pretty happy with the tier list and how it's sitting. I don't think we're gonna make any changes per se. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy. Like I said, if you guys want to check it out, hit the link down below. While you're down there, bell the like button for me, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, though, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.